More cloud as we head through the afternoon, but staying dry until we get to the evening hours. For hay fever sufferers, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you we have high pollen levels, actually very high at the moment for southeast England. Sunny spells rather than the beautiful sunshine we had this morning. Bright skies for northeast England, and again UV levels high, pollen levels are high here as well. Now, at the moment, we've got just 1 or 2 scattered showers across Scotland, intermittent and pretty light, certainly not as heavy as we saw yesterday. High pollen levels in Northern Ireland as well, and then that rain will set in as we head through the coming hours. Cloudy at the moment for Wales and for southwest England, and expect through the next few hours for that cloud to gather in the west and then that rain to set in. Light patchy rain initially with some scattered showers around, and then it turns heavier as we head through the afternoon and on into the evening hours. Through the evening the rain arrives through the home counties, through the Midlands, and then overnight it pushes into northern England and southwest Scotland. A cloudy night for many of us, and a pretty damp one as well, 9 to 12 degrees, not as cool as it was last night. We do start the weekend on Saturday with a rather cloudy note, but through the day I'm hopeful that things should tend to brighten up. Our weather front pushes northwards, a few showers left behind, but with sunny spells around we'll have high teens in the north, maybe even up to 25 degrees in the sunshine in the south. And then as we head through to Sunday, it gets warmer still, particularly through England and Wales. We could be in the mid to high 20s, even the low 30s, but still some rain to contend with across northwestern areas. And it is worth bearing in mind this time of year the sun is strong, so when it comes out we will have high UV levels.
"46 athletes, 23 countries and one dream."
My dream for me is to get the Olympic gold.
That's the greatest thing that anyone can want.
Follow their training and find out what drives them.
I wake up pretty much every morning and I do look forward to the day. I live in a fantastic place to train and it really is a motivation.
I've got so much on my plate all the time with schoolwork and training. At the moment I'm just looking towards the end of my exams.
I have a team around me. This is my second family. Only in sport you can have this kind of emotion.
The Countdown to London 2012 on BBC News, Radio 5 Live and at bbc.co.uk/2012.
The convicted killer Levi Belfield is told he will never be released from prison after he's given a second life sentence for the murder of the schoolgirl Millie Dowler. But this morning the jury was discharged before they reached a verdict on a final charge against Belfield following complaints about adverse publicity. Meanwhile, Millie's sister complains about the way her parents were treated during the trial, saying it was worse than the days after she disappeared 9 years ago.
You just can't explain how horrific it is in that courtroom until you are actually in there.
Warnings that older people taking a combination of commonly used drugs may be at increased risk of dementia and death. The Olympic rush hour. Thousands snap up the latest batch of 2012 tickets within hours of them going on sale.
And coming up in sport, there are 3 Brits in action at Wimbledon today, including Andy Murray later on centre court. The 4th seed plays Ivan Ljubicic of Croatia for a place in the 4th round.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. The convicted killer, Levi Belfield, has been given a second life sentence for murdering the schoolgirl Millie Dowler 9 years ago and told he will never be released. This morning, the judge discharged the jury at the Old Bailey before they'd reached a verdict on a final charge against him because of what he called adverse publicity. Meanwhile, Millie Dowler's sister has complained about the ordeal her parents went through during the trial. From the Old Bailey, Sophie Hutchinson reports.
Millie Dowler amusing her family as she did the ironing. This is amongst their last happy memories of her. Her sister Gemma, seen hugging her here, has spoken out about...
And apologies for that, we do seem to have lost the sound on Sophie Hutchinson's report, but we can join her now live at the Old Bailey. Sophie, it has been a very dramatic morning. Talk us through what has been happening there.
Well, these are certainly very unusual circumstances. What happened this morning was that the judge decided to discharge the jury. It means the case against Levi Belfield is now over. Of course, yesterday he was found guilty of the abduction and murder of Millie Dowler. But today the jury's work was not over. They were meant to be considering whether he had attempted to abduct another schoolgirl the day before he murdered